Hey guys, welcome back. And today I want to discuss to you a topic about Dragon Ball Z, the Scouters from Dragon Ball Z, or, the Scouters from Dragon Ball in general. Well, Dragon Ball Z mainly, but, We're gonna discuss a topic about the Dragon Ball Z Scouters. So, as you can tell by the title of the video, it says, other purpose, like another purpose, the other purpose of the Scouters type thing. So, what are Scouters most known for? What could be their purpose?
Vegeta, what does the Scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
Yeah, other than that, I believe Scouters have another ulterior purpose. And that, of course, is ranking. Scouters, to me, are, besides the main function of to scan power levels, which is kind of pointless in the Dragon Ball Z universe now, as you can master their power and all that. But other than that, I see them as tools that rank a person on their stature for their position on whatever cause they're fighting for, whether it be the Saiyans or Frieza's team, you know what I mean? Let me give an example. Let's take Raditz, for example. So with Raditz, he is a Saiyan warrior, as we know, but he is not really the big best Saiyan of the lot. As a matter of fact, he is pretty weak. His power level, said by Nappa and Vegeta, has been said to be around the same level as a Cyberman. Or they were really strong Cybermen, but I'm not sure that was the case. So yes, we do know where Saiyans like Raditz rank, when it comes to their power. But what am I getting at with this? Well, you see, the thing is, have you ever noticed that most Saiyans have green Scouters? I mean, Bardock's father, there's quite a few if you paid attention to, besides Bardock and Raditz, a few in the background, like, and there's this Bardock movie, and there are, like, a few other spare Saiyans before Planet Vegeta was blown up. So, there was quite enough evidence there to see other Saiyans, but the point is that most of them all had, green Scouters. So where am I going up with this? Well, the thing is, I think that most Saiyans have green Scouters. It's only like there are certain classes where you have to be to gain the upper levels to get the other Scouters. So how does the Scouter system work that I've put together? Well, let's go over that real quick. So as you can tell, we've got Raditz here, and he's got the green Scouter. And as I've said before, Raditz isn't the strong cupcake up the tree. And, I'm sure, and nothing against Bardock. I mean, Bardock's a badass and all that, but I just feel like, they weren't the best, is what I'm saying. So, of course, green would be your low class green. If you have a green Scouter, you're not the best, but you're capable of getting a job done, like Raditz. You know what I mean? So that's where that lines up. I think you kind of know what the next color will be, but we'll give you some exposition to what that is, with a little help from Nappa.
I was Commander-in-Chief of the whole Saiyan army! You're nothing compared to me!
Thanks, Nappa. Yeah, so with higher up Saiyans like Nappa, who is the supposed commander-in-chief of the army of Saiyans or whatever. So there are some higher ups like that who do gain a bit more respect and gain higher ranking Scouters, and that would be you're like your blue. It's similar. This is a similar formula to other things like lightsabers, and this would be. If you ever seen Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, you'll know they had something like schools where they had Slifer's, Obelisks, and Raws. It's the same. I think it's the same thing here with these Scouters as well. So you got your greens, which are your lower class, and here are your blues, which are like your middle class Scouters, where you're like higher ups, you know, imperial, like an imperial officer kind of thing, where you're like very in there. And then you got your final Scouters, which belong to your OP warriors. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, so we'll move along to those types of characters now, with none other than, of course, the Prince Vegeta. And, of course, here we are with, of course, none other than Vegeta. Only a few people would have probably gained the Red Scouters from the Saiyans, like the King and probably the Queen or whatever. And, of course, maybe they're all royal class. They could be, all royal class, or there could be just like some rule of OP Saiyans. Because if I don't, yeah, I mean, it's either one or two things. Then I guess because I don't really recall. Do you recall? Does anyone think about this, guys? Does anyone recall a Saiyan from Planet Vegeta that had a Red Scouter other than someone in the Vegeta family? Because I don't. Okay, I know Tarbell had a blue Scouter or a green one. I forgot which color it was. But whatever color it was, it's justified for the ranking system of the Scouters that I've made anyway. So maybe it is just they have to be a high-powered character from, yeah. But yeah, so if you're the highest up when it comes to, if you're the strongest of the strongest, you're easily gonna get a Red Scouter for that. So that kind of makes sense. It's pretty straightforward. But of course, this topic isn't really over yet because I've still got to discuss how Frieza uses the Scouters, because he kind of uses them in a different way, which I'll have to explain a bit. So we'll go over to Frieza real quick. So here we are with Frieza. I'm gonna be pretty straightforward with him. As we all know, he of course is gonna use a Red Scouter, as he does see himself as the most powerful being in the galaxy, or whatever you want to call it. He also he does use Scouters for his men as well, along with Saiyan combat gear, and he has Vegeta, the Prince of Saiyans, working for him before he goes rogue. But you know what I mean. So what am I getting at with him? Well, he does have some weird things going on with him. I mean, he does use Scouters, standard issue, like. However, when it comes to his foot soldiers, well, we'll get to that in a minute. When it comes to his men, they're pretty standard forward. The Dory, he gets a green Scouter. I mean, he is powerful. He is more powerful than what is it? More powerful than a few couple Saiyans, normal Saiyans with green Scouters. But I'd say he is pretty dumb, Then you got Zarbon. He has a blue Scouter. I can see that fitting him. I think a lot of people can nod their heads in agreement, saying, yeah, he is smarter. He has got a transformation state. That kind of boosts him up. But remember, guys, when it comes to ranking, I don't think it really involves with how strong the person is. I know I've said that it kind of is at the first, but because the red you need to be the OP. And then you got blue, which where you're kind of higher up. Blue is kind of like a more well, you're a more ranked officer kind of thing, and that sticks with Zarbon. Take a look at Captain Ginyu. Get a picture of him up right now. Yeah, Captain Ginyu here. He's got a green Scouter. As a matter of fact, all the Ginyu Force members have green Scouters, and that's what boggled my mind. Why would the Ginyu Force? This is where it starts to turn from understanding how Frieza uses his Scouters. Why would he give the Ginyu Force, all 5 members, green Scouters? And then later on, I mean, as I was doing some research, I found out there's a scene when, you know, when the Z Fighters first arrive on Earth, Krillin, Bulma, and was it Gohan? Yeah, Gohan. And they arrive on Earth, not on Earth, and on Namek for the first time. Their ship gets blown up by these two guys, and one of, you know, got a picture of them up right now. As you can tell, one's got a blue or green scouter. Okay, if it's a green one, that makes sense. If it's a blue one, okay. And actually, no, that wouldn't slip by me. But it looks kind of blue, and then the other one's got clearly a red scouter. And I'm like, this is the only thing that really debacles my theory a kind of bit. However, I can see two ways of making it work. But the red one kind of boggles me out of my mind because there's no way I can buy a goon like that. Unless, you know, Akira Toriyama didn't mean to do that. Or it comes down to the obvious conclusion, which does easily solve this remedy. And that is like, Frieza doesn't really care that much about the Scouters. I mean, he cares about them for himself, but when it comes to giving them out in the same order, I mean, do you think he would really care about, oh, I'll just follow the rules about how to give them out like the Saiyans would? You know what I mean? Because he kind of, you know, he hates the Saiyans, so I don't think he'll follow the rules. He'll probably just mistreat the technology just like he does with the Saiyans themselves. So it kind of makes sense in a way. And I get that could be a small example to detail about that. How he gives a precious red and blue scouters to just some low-flying grunts. Maybe you could say he had too many of them and he had to get rid of some because only a few people deserve that kind of opportunity. Oh my god, that makes more sense now. I mean, maybe he stole all the red scouters, which are for all these high-ranking people, and then he thought, hey, I don't need all these because I'm the only high-ranking. Only me and my dad and my brother are like the strongest beings. So I'm going to take all the other red scouters and send them to weaklings who are easily going to die. You know what I mean? So there are ways to make that irrelevant for Frieza's character. Like he doesn't care at all and he could easily wipe them out anyway. It's just a way of Frieza getting rid of the garbage. Figurative with the scouters and the weak muscle. So, that's how I see it when it comes to this little technical difficulty issue. So if you see a guard with a red or blue scouter on Frieza's team, just remember, it's Frieza, it doesn't matter to him, he can just wipe them out. He's just trying to get rid of the scouters that he doesn't need, because technically, he only needs 3. One for his bro, and one, of course, for his, daddy. But mind you, I don't think they would even need them because only Frieza uses them. Frieza uses them on himself. So that being said, yeah, that actually I just actually sorted out my own little issue I had with Frieza and how he uses them. So yeah. So there it is, guys. My 2 cents on about the Scouters. About, you know, that the Saiyans don't use them just for ranking people's power, but themselves. Green Scouters are lower class, blue Scouters are middle class ranking officers who've achieved command of something, Reds are overpowered Scouters, then Frieza uses them in kind of a mistreatful way, like he does with the Saiyans, where he mistreats with the technology, and gives his Red Scouters to weak soldiers and probably some of his blue ones because he doesn't need them because the only super strong being that is him and his family really. So he's just trying to get rid of the Red Scouters and, you know, probably trick his goons into saying, oh, you're a good soldier, here, have a Red Scouter. But realistically, he's trying to off them, you know what I mean? But, you know, there are some exceptions like Zarbon. Ginyu, I've gone over him. But it just goes to show you, you know, I think I didn't actually go over him much, but I will go over now. When it comes to the Ginyu Force, you could say yes, I know, you're gonna say, Ginyu, he is leader of the Ginyu Force, why doesn't he, this kind of debunks your theory a bit. Well, actually no, it doesn't, because, it's Frieza, guys. Frieza doesn't really care that much about Ginyu. I mean, it may seem like he does, but it's only when Ginyu and him's around, really. He's just like putting on a show when he's talking to him. Because when Ginyu's beaten up, he does have a lot of disrespect. Hell, when he was about to have his wish, he told him to shut the fuck up because he's trying to think about what to do. How to get the wishing to work. So, it's kind of like a off relationship. Besides, Ginyu's only being nice to him because, one, he doesn't want to get his ass whooped, and two, well, he kind of has respect for him because he's stronger than him, so in a way, you can see why Frieza is not going to give him or his men any sort of high-ranking scouter. They're just a bunch of muscle dudes, and he really doesn't care about the scouter technology that much. But that's just my 2 cents on the matter, guys. Like I said. Anyway, I hope this video was good. I hope the hearing quality of it is well. I know some parts might be hard to listen to, but I think I really did. To put in the comments down below how good the audio was, because I think I'm slipping up a bit, but feedback would be nice. Let me know your sense on this subject that I've created about the Scouters being, you know, in another alternative way. If there are other Scouter colors, this would not debunk my theory anyway. It would just expand my theory. Like, oh, there are other colors, other ways of ranking, similar to the lightsabers from Star Wars. So, I think this is a way that could work in Dragon Ball Z. I know, okay, Dragon Ball Z is over, but it was the awesomeness. But, you know, it kind of fits with the Dragon Ball world, I suppose. Dragon Ball universe, we'll call it that. Unless that be a series, oh my god. But, you know, cutting it short now. Put your comments down below what you think of this topic. Let me know how the sound quality was for this video. If it was bad for you, I will try and improve it for future videos. You know what I mean? Next video probably coming out will be the Lynxy series episode 3 for season 5. After that will possibly be LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 custom builds, and I'll probably get straight back to The Last of Us on my walkthrough on that game. So just a little heads up where my channel is. That being said, guys, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time, guys, from me, peace. Also, if you haven't seen it already, before I head off, I just want to remind you guys, Corin O'Keefe, yeah, I'll probably put an annotation to his channel. He has been doing another episode of the Lynxy series review, well, not review, commentary, sorry. I'll probably put a link to his channel. If you want to go and watch the episode commentary for episode 4, I will put a link to I'll probably put a link to his second channel. What will I do? You know what I'll do? I'll put a link to his main channel in the description down below, Corin O'Keefe down there. And I will put his second channel, which is where the video is, on the annotations around here somewhere. And that's where all of the commentaries are for the Lynxy series. So if you haven't seen them already, go check them out. He's on episode 4. Episode 5 is coming out in like a few weeks or something, a couple of weeks. So should be around. It won't be long till that one's up. So for my fans to know. Well, anyway, guys, like I said, I gotta keep this short because there's other things to do in my life. So next time, guys, peace.